Harivam. Let us chant from verses 6 to 15 of chapter 10. Maharshaya saptapute chatvaro manavastatha madbhava manasa jataha yesham lokahimah prajaha etam vibhutim yogam cha mama yo vetti tatpataha so vikampena yogena yujyate natra samshayah aham sarvasya prabhavah mattas sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante ma buddha bhava samanditaha Macchitta madgata pranaha bodhayanta parasparam kathayantascha manityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamupayanti te teshamevānukam pātham ahamajñānajam tamaha nāshayam yatma bhavastaha jnānadīpena bhasvata Arjuna uvacha param brahma param dhama pavitram paramam bhavan purusham shashvatam divyam adidevam ajam vibhum ahustvam rishayas sarve devarshi naradastatha asito devalo vyasaha swayam chaiva bhravishi me sarvametadhritam manye yanmam vadasi keshava nahi te bhagavan vyaktim vedurdevanadanapaha स्वयमेवात्मनात्मानं वेत्थत्वं पुरुषोत्तम भूतभावन भूतेश देवदेव जगत्पते
Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunattu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Mave Vishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Verse number 9, he said, Bodhayanta Parasparam. Talking about my glories, talking about me, they grow. Next verse he said, Tesham upayanti te. They get closer to me. Madgata pranaha, Macchittaha, all the disciplines he said. A life dedicated to God. a life dedicated to God. When we say life dedicated to God, a life dedicated to pursuit of God and a life dedicated to service of God. This is what is meant by a life dedicated to God, meaning pursuit of God. Second is a life dedicated to service. Bodhayantaha, they talk about my glories. When they meet, what will they talk? Okay. Generally, when two people meet, what do they talk? In everything, Uttama, Madhyama, Manda. There are three categories. Uttama means the highest category. Madhyama means the mediocre ones. Mandaha means the dull ones. Manda means dull. Because of dullness, they will be called as lowest. Lowest not in the sense of inferior, but in the dull people. Now, when two dull people meet, what will they talk? What will they talk? They will talk about weather. They will talk about climate. They will talk about politics. Nothing else to talk. They will talk about IPL, isn't it? What else do they? What else do they talk? Mediocre people, when they get together, what will they talk? Some events they will talk. Something happened. What happened? What's happening in your life? What is happening in my life? They keep talking about. Mediocre people talk about what is happening in their lives. Lowest category, they will constantly talk about other people. When the Uttama category people get together, what will they talk? What will they talk? When great people get together, what will they talk? They will talk about ideas. They will talk about principles. They will talk about how we can be of help to others. Katayantascha mam nityam. This is what is meant by they keep. What do they talk? Again, he said, Bodhayantaha parasparam. What will they talk? They talk about the glories of God. When two devotees meet, what will they meet? What will they talk? They talk about the glories of God. What are the glories of God? Jnanam. How? What is the wisdom? Second is the Viryam, the omnipotence. Viryam they talk about. They talk about Jnanam. They talk about Viryam. They talk about Yashas. Yashas in the sense of skill, courage, all that. Shri, the fame. Aishwaryam they talk about. They talk about the Aishwarya. And they talk about Vairagya. These are the factors that you should be talking about. You're able to follow? Devotees will talk that, he says. My devotees will keep talking that. Bodhayantaha parasparam. All that he said in verse number 9. Okay. For those who do all this in verse number 9, in verse number 10, he said, I give buddhi yoga. I give buddhi yoga, mam upayantite. As a result of which they come to me. They come to me. Upa is the word. Upayanti, the root is the word upa. And this word upa we have seen any number of times. Upanishad, upasana, all has the same root in upa. So here he is using upayantite. And traditional commentaries will go into elaboration on this word, upayanti, etc. We are not going into those details now. But what it means is, these practices get them closer to me. What is the indication that they are closer to God? Tushyanti cha ramanti cha. How do you know that you are closer to God? How do you know that you are closer to God? Tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Tushyanti and ramanti. Tushyanti also means blissful. Ramanti also means blissful. Ramanti, Raman root lendu varudha Rama. One who is constantly in bliss is Lord Rama. With this mindset, they worship me. When they worship me with this mindset, what do I give in return to them? They are giving me something. They are showing bhakti to me. Okay. When you show bhakti to God, what does he give you in return? Dadami buddhi yogam. I give them the buddhi yoga. He is not saying I will grant your prayers. Carefully follow. You show me bhakti, he says. There are important verses of bhakti. That's why we are revisiting these verses. He is saying, you do bhakti to me. What will I give in return? All your prayers will be answered. All your wishes will be granted. You will be taken care of. Your family will be taken care of. He is not saying all that. What will I give you in return? Dadami buddhi yogam. And what is buddhi yogam? Knowledge. You do bhakti, I give knowledge. All of that transaction. Very simple transaction between us, he said. You do bhakti, in return, what will I give you? Jnanam. So the benefit of bhakti is what? The fruit of bhakti is what? Jnanam. Are you able to follow? This is how we understand. And what is jnanam? Vairagyam. What is jnanam? Jnanam means vairagyam. Vairagyam in relation to the world. If you have bhakti, jnanam I will give. Okay. What is jnanam here means? What is meant by jnanam here? Jnanam here is meant by vairagyam. What he says as from priyam to shreyam. As he said in the Kathopanishad, prayas and shreyas. There are two paths. One is the path of the priyam. Another is the path of the shreyas. Jnanam is shifting from priyam to shreyas. That is jnana. The attention will shift from priyam to shreyas. By the method of karma yoga, you get this. By the method of bhakti yoga also, you are going to get it. So the fruit of karma is jnanam. The fruit of bhakti is also jnanam. Are you able to follow now? And what is jnanam here? Jnanam is vairagya. Jnanam is not the shastric knowledge. Jnanam means vairagyam. And what is vairagyam? There are two paths that you always have in life. One is the path of the pleasant. Another is the path of shreyas. And beautiful word shreyas. How to translate that in English? We don't know. Yeah. In English, you have to translate it as path of the pleasant and the path of the good. It's not path of the good. Shreyas is that which gives you the ultimate benefit. So there is the path that gives you the ultimate benefit, permanent benefit. And then there is a path that gives you the priyam. What is knowledge? Vairagyam. What is vairagyam? I will not get tempted by the priyam and sacrifice the shreyas. You get tempted by the priyam and you lose the path of the shreyas. It means you are ignorant. That's why in one stroke in Bhagavad Gita, he says, the whole world is ignorant. In one stroke, he says, the whole world is ignorant and everybody will get irritated. How can you say we are all ignorant? This is the ignorance. What is ignorance? You compromise on the path of the Shreyas for the path of the Priyam. What is Priyam means? Priyam means that which satisfies your senses. That which satisfies your senses, that which gives you immediate happiness. But what you don't understand is, behind that 2-minute happiness lies 20 years of suffering that you don't see. Vairagyam, jnanam is that. Behind that 2 minutes of impulsive happiness, behind that 5 minutes of temporary joy that you get, what you miss? The suffering that's going to follow later. So he says, you have bhakti to me, I will give you jnanam. What is jnanam? Vairagyam at one level. What is jnanam at another level? No distinction between me and God. So jnanam should be seen at 2 levels. At one level, jnanam should be understood as vairagyam. At the higher level, jnanam should be understood as aikyam. We don't talk about aikyam a lot. We talk about vairagyam a lot. Because what is needed only we have to talk, isn't it? That which is too far-fetched, that which is very high, what is the point of talking about that? Therefore, what do? They talk about vairagyam a lot. See, normally buddhi means intellect, no? Tadami buddhi yogam. And the specific word buddhi yoga, he used in the context of karma yoga also. You remember that? We quoted that verse also. Where? In which chapter? In chapter 2. In chapter 2, when he is introducing karma yoga, he uses the word buddhi yoga. Here when he is talking about bhakti yoga, also he is using the word buddhi yoga. There buddhi yoga means karma yoga. Here buddhi yoga means knowledge. Normally we understand buddhi means intellect, isn't it? But here buddhi yoga means the right knowledge. You follow? Here buddhi yoga means the right knowledge. What is right knowledge? What is right knowledge? That you should not be asking. Yeah, you know that already. What is right knowledge? Chapter 7 and chapter 9. The first few verses of, in fact, the whole of chapter 7 and chapter 9, he gave the knowledge. What is the knowledge he gave? What is knowledge? One class, one definition you are giving, you don't know what to give. So might as well you only say, na, you are going to say something, something else. What is knowledge? I created the world. I am the creator. I have nothing to do with the creation. Remember that knowledge? Remember that knowledge. It should strike you that. It should strike. First he said, I created it. And then he says, Prakriti does it. I have nothing to do with it. It is Prakriti that enlivened by me. Prakriti does all that. And then he went on to say, Prakriti ki yanakume connection கிடையாது. Beautiful. We spent a lot of time discussing that in chapter 7, and we spent a lot of time discussing that in chapter 9. So Buddhi Yogam, knowledge means you have to connect it. You have to connect it to that. That is right. That is right. Knowledge. All beings exist in me. They are in me. I am in them. They are not in me. I am not in them. This is knowledge. Remember that? You will understand what knowledge is, isn't it? Supporting them, I do not dwell in them, I am in them, they are not, all that whatever he spoke there. Verse number 4, 5, 6 of chapter 9, the first 5 verses of chapter 7. Devotee will get this knowledge. I ensure that my devotee will get this. I ensure that my devotee will get this knowledge. I will bless them with such right knowledge. Tena yogena. For these bhaktas, I give them this right knowledge. When he says I give them this right knowledge, what he means is the effect of bhakti is right. The effect of bhakti is right knowledge. Upayanti. Upayanti means the bhakti gets you closer. Upa means getting. The word upa itself means getting closer. Getting closer. Getting closer. What is the right knowledge? Verse number 7, he said, Avikampena yogena. Remember that? The sequence? In the 4 verse sequence, Avikampena yogena, he said in verse number 7. What is Avikampena yogena? Definition is given here. Buddhi yoga is Avikampena yogena. Bhagavad Gita. இப்படிலாம் ஏதோ இந்த வாரம் ஒரு ஸ்டோரி கேட்டோமோ விட்டுட்டு அடுத்த வாரம் we should listen to another story, அதுக்கு அடுத்த வாரம் we should listen to another story. இந்த மாதிரி backwards and forwards, why do you have to keep going and keep connecting it? This is how you have to do manana. This is the way you do manana. You have to go, you should know how to connect it backwards. What is he saying? He's elaborating it further. What is he saying? He's elaborating it further. Then you understand what he's actually saying. Otherwise, it looks like so, I don't know how it looks. Avikampena yogena. What is Avikampena yogena? The path he explained. Katayantascha mam nityam, tushyanticha ramanticha. All that is what you should do. Avikampena yogena, my devotees will have. Okay, what is Avikampena yogena means? Katayantascha mam nityam, tushyanticha ramanticha, etc. All the disciplines that he spoke. Okay, I do all that. What happens? Tadami buddhi yogam. Idallam panna, what will you get in return? He is not saying, I will grant you my darshana. Look at that. Look at what he is saying carefully. Raj, he is not saying, I will grant you darshana. He is not saying, I will come and I will grant you my... He is not saying that. Neither is he saying, I will take care of you. He is not saying all that. All that he is saying is what? Dadami buddhi yogam. What is buddhi yogam? Technically, it is called jnana prapti. Praptam vanu they say, isn't it? Prapti means deserving it. Praptam vanu sir idukallam they say, isn't it? Sanskrit word prapta, English is deserving. If you are not having this knowledge, means you are not deserving it. Praptam illa nartham. And you have to earn it. You have to deserve it. And how do you deserve it? Any deserving is effort. But mind wants it minus the effort. Again, I repeat. Praptam comes through prayatna. It is the effort. The past effort is what is seen as praptam in the present. Prayatna. But mind always wants praptam, it will want, but what it will not cooperate for? What it will not cooperate for? Prayatna, it will not cooperate. Effort, it will not cooperate. What to do to that mind? What to do to that mind? What to do to that mind? Give it a whack, that's all. Educate, Ram Subramaniam. Education la unna avamatenruthe. Nothing is happening, no. What do you do to that mind? Because it is not the mind that is not cooperating for effort is not, doesn't need education. It is just stubborn. And that stubborn mind, the way to deal with stubbornness is what? In the Vedanta treatise, he talks about 4 spiritual yogas. If you remember, there is a book called Vedanta treatise also, isn't it? Adum padipum. There is a book titled Vedanta treatise. In that Vedanta treatise, there is the chapter called 4 spiritual yogas. Beautiful in that 4 is the Hatha Yoga. Hatha Yoga means what? Hatha Yoga. Hatha Yoga na what?
Compulsion.
Compulsion. Whack yourself and do something. Get up and do something. What else to do? What else to do? Follow? Jnana prapti, if it is not there, prayatna is not proper. When the mind doesn't cooperate for effort, that mind has to be forced. Samadhana, Veda, all the first 3 is not working, isn't it? How do you know that all the 3 is not working? Pathale theriyudhu, isn't it? Yeah, our first 3 is not working. Education is not working. Giving gifts is not. Dhanamna enna artham? Gift kudukiradhu artham, isn't it? Yeah. Paaka pogumbodhu summa pogakooda sir. Kaiyila edha vaangin ponum, isn't it? Adhukku per enna? Adhan gift, isn't it? So Sama, Dana, Veda. Vedana enna artham? The tamasic people la onnu serave vidakudadu. The tamasic people should never be allowed to form a congregation, create a division and keep them separate. That's called Veda. You know that? Why they should not be allowed to congregate? If they are allowed to congregate, Tushyanti cha ramanta katayantascha mam nityam, what will they be doing? What will they be doing? All the things that is, see, when 2 people meet, they should help each other to grow. When 2 people meet, they are bringing each other down. Both are fighting. What is the fight? யார் கால இன்னொருத்தர் வாரி விட்டு மூஞ்சியை உடைக்கிறதுன்றதுதான் fight, isn't it? இந்த மாதிரி ஆளுங்க இருந்தா what you should do, you should never allow them to get together. அதுதான் Veda. Create the division. Sama, Dana, Veda. Samana education, logic, reason, compassion, teaching, affection, இதெல்லாம் காமிக்கிறது. First method அதுதான். There are 3 types of horses, Ananda. Gautam Buddha. Buddha says there are 3 types of horses. For the highest quality horse, he says, The shadow of the whip is enough, he says. Shadow of the whip is enough for the highest quality horse. For a mediocre horse, the cracking sound of the whip. For the lowest manda category horse, நாலு சாத்தணும். அப்போ கூட நவராது அது இல்லையா? கழுத மாதிரி அங்கேயே நிற்கும், நவராது அது, திருப்பி எட்டி தான் உதைக்கும். Isn't it? It won't do anything. We understand prapti is not there for jnana. Jnana prapti isn't there. Now the question is how to get that jnana prapti. Avikampena yogena. What is avikampena yogena? These are all the methods. By this you gain knowledge. What is the knowledge? The knowledge is that which says the distinction of devotee and God merges. No more of the distinction between the devotee and the one who is devoted to. Able to follow? Devotee and to something he is devoted to. The duality merges. The duality goes away. That is called buddhi yogena. To those bhaktas, buddhi yogam I gave. Beautiful is this word, buddhi yoga. So the effect of karma is jnanam. The effect of bhakti is jnanam. The effect of study of shastra is also jnanam. So here jnanam means all the three yogas leads to jnanam. And what is jnanam? Level number 1, vairagyam. Level number 2, aikyam. Don't worry, everybody wants aikyam, but nobody wants to make prayatna for vairagyam. When without vairagyam, aikyam will not happen. And what is vairagyam? Vairagyam is, that's the quality of a human being. Vairagyam is human being. What is vairagyam? The capacity to say no. Temptations come and you say no. Temptations come and you say no. Opposite of that is what? Temptations come, you say no. What is opposite of that? You seek temptation. You are going around seeking it. You are going around wanting it. You are going around falling at every feet. You follow that? That is opposite. Vairagyam is temptations comes, you say no. Opposite of that is what? You go around begging. You go around begging. What is begging? What is the beggary of a human being? Vairagyam. Okay, if there is no vairagyam, beggary. Begging. And you should feel ashamed that you are begging, isn't it? And what is beggary? What is beggary? Make me happy. Adam beggary. Make me happy. என்ன கொஞ்சம் சந்தோஷமா வைங்கோல. Make me happy, no? Make me smile, no? Make me happy. Make me happy. I am in misery. Make me happy. I am in misery. Make me happy. A bhakta has this knowledge. A bhakta has this. No more going and asking others to make me. Are you able to understand that? See, what is indulgences? Indulgence is nothing but begging, craving for make me happy. That's indulgence. If you understand it, indulgence like that, you will not indulge. You will not want to get tempted because it is so demeaning. It is so demeaning. It is so insulting. இதெல்லாம் okay, sir. Temptation vanda, I forget all this. My mind turns. When I get tempted, my mind simply turns stubborn, refusing to yield. Avikampena yoga enallam irukadhu. What will happen there? Avikampena yoga enallam varadu. What will happen there? Naraka will happen. Naraka will be the result. And what is Naraka means? Naraka means pain. Are you able to follow? Naraka means pain. This is the philosophical content of the 10th chapter. Verses 1 to 11 is the philosophical content. Later on, description. The description varumbodhu kadakadakadan poidalam. Onnume kediyadanga. But this is the philosophical content. That's why we are spending some time on it. Because so beautifully he's saying, you practice bhakti, I will give you knowledge. Seriya? Yes.
So without
Yes. The question is, I said in the beginning, I said three categories of people. See, when two people meet, they have to talk something. No, first thing. When two people meet, they have to talk something. We look for people to talk also, isn't it? தனியா இருக்க முடியல சார். யார் கூடயாவது பேசினே இருக்கணும், isn't it? ஏதோ ஒரு சத்தம் இருந்துனே இருக்கணும் பேக்ரவுண்ட்ல, isn't it? One of my aunt டிவி போட்டுருவாங்க, யாருமே இருக்க மாட்டாங்க. she will also not watch. So one day I asked her, எதுக்கு டிவி பாடல, அதை ஆஃப் பண்ணிடலாமே. I said, இல்ல அது பாட்டில் ஓடின்னு இருக்கட்டும். Why? As though somebody is talking. When two people talk, when two people meet, they have to talk. Or we meet only to talk. Are you able to understand the psychology till now? We meet only to talk. And people are generally categorized as three: Uttama, Madhyama, and Manda. ABC category. The highest, the mediocre, the bottommost, the lowest. When the Uttama people get together, what will they talk? Because he's saying, Katayantascha mam nityam, he's saying in verse. They will talk. From that, we are elaborating that. What are we elaborating? When the highest category meet, what will they talk? They will talk about my glories, about God, etc. Even if not about God, they will be talking about some ideas, some concepts, something so meaningful to life. They will be talking. That is Uttama category. Madhyama category people, when they get together, what will they talk? They will talk about events, situations, etc. When the lowest category of people get together, what will they talk? Gossip. Are you able to follow? Gossip they will do. Gossip lam panni mudichittu namakku enna sir aachu, isn't it? They will say. After gossiping for 1 hour, making a mincemeat of the other person, they will say, அது அவங்க லைஃப், நமக்கு என்னத்துக்கு சார் அதெல்லாம்? You should not even open that word in the first place, isn't it? That is Manda category, where they talk about other people. Why do they talk about other people? Because they have nothing else to talk. Do you know newspapers are very interesting, and 85% of the newspaper has only politics in it, and there is no political ideologies is discussed there. What is discussed there? The politician is discussed, not the politics, not ideas and ideologies. Are you able to follow? அதனால தான் அவ்வளோ இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங்காக இருக்குது. பிரேக்கிங் நியூஸ் எல்லாம் ஏன் அவ்வளோ இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங்காக இருக்குது? பார்த்துனே இருக்கணும் சார் நியூஸ், isn't it? Breaking news. You are broken listening to that breaking news. Why do you do? Are you able to follow? They talk about other people. The highest category, what do they talk? They talk about ideas, concepts, ideologies, how life can be made how life can be made beneficial, better for somebody else. Are you able to follow? Or they will talk about God, the glories of God. Here he is saying, when they speak, they talk about the glories of me. From that, we extend it further. He is only saying they talk about my glories. Now, what is talking about his glories? Not Sahasranama. Talking about his glories means people misunderstand it as they will constantly say how God is great. No. Not that. It's not as elementary or as gross as that. What do they talk? They talk about how they can be. They talk about ideas. They talk about concepts. They talk about how life can be made. How life can be made better for the other, not you. என் லைஃப் எப்படி சார் சந்தோஷமா வச்சுக்கிறதுன்னா you are not a bhakta. You talk about making the life better of somebody else. But சார் முதல்ல என் லைஃப் பெட்டர் ஆனாதான் அடுத்தவங்க லைஃப் பெட்டர் ஆக முடியும். And the only way that you can make your life better is by thinking about how to better the life of the other. And attention must go out of you. That is the challenge. The biggest problem is self-attention. All the time you are thinking about. See, in everybody's head, they are only thinking about themselves. They have no time for anybody else. Even if they give time for somebody else also, that is also for what? Something I get in return out of it. Another I give time also. Otherwise, I don't give time also. You follow what I'm saying? So this highest category of people, when they meet and when they converse, yeah, that's called satsang, isn't it? That's called satsang. Sadas, it's called. Technically, the Sanskrit word for this is called sadas. இன்னைக்கு அதெல்லாம் கிடையவே கிடையாது. சதஸினுடைய corruption is debate club, பட்டிமன்றம். You know that? When sadas gets so low, it becomes a debate club. அதை பத்தி கூட பேச முடியாது இப்போ. ஏன்னா அங்கேயும் ஒரே gossip தான் நடக்கிறது, isn't it? No ideas is discussed anywhere. No concepts is discussed anywhere. It is all about what? It's all about the other person. Because we do not know what else to. We do not know what else to talk. We don't have anything else to talk. What is your problem, sir, if we talk about the other? Yeah, there is no problem. This will be the consequence of it. That's all. This will be the consequence. These are the three categories: Uttama, Madhyama, and Manda. What you should aspire to become in life, you should become to aspire to the Uttama category. Uttama category. Able to follow? In Vedanta, in generally also how to make life, how I can be of help to another in any way. Not necessarily Vedanta. Ultimately, it is Vedanta only. But even if you don't understand the Vedantic concept, if you are thinking or talking about how you can help somebody else, it is Vedanta by default. You may not have heard the word Vedanta. You may not be using the technical terms that we use here, but you are still following and practicing Vedanta only because you are thinking in terms of helping the other. Able to follow? Yes. That increases your identification. When identification is increased, bhakti is automatic. You follow?
So you said indication of coming closer to God is Tushyanti and Ramanti. And here it says Tushyanti suggests the joy derived from his worldly contacts. And
Yes.
Ramanti is the joy found within himself.
Yes.
So understand.
In the commentary, Swamiji has interpreted Tushyanti and Ramanti. Clarification is from that. In the commentary, when you ask a question, you should say that. Tushyanti, Ramanti. In the commentary, paragraph, last paragraph, third line. When you ask a question, this is identification with others. You follow? In that commentary, Swamiji has said, Tushyanti, Ramanti, both means happy, but both have a subtle difference. What is the first one? Contact with the world. Second is within oneself. Two kinds of happiness. The first kind of happiness is what? The senses, the mind contacts the world. For an indulgent person, what is the result of the contact? Everybody is contacting. Everybody is contacting. And when an indulgent person contacts, what is the result of that contact? Wombs of sorrow. There is no Tushyanti there. When an indulgent person contacts the world, what is the consequence of that contact? Wombs of sorrow. Joy now, but sorrow later. For 2 minutes of joy, for 5 minutes of joy, for half a day joy, 25 years of EMI, isn't it? Isn't it? 25 years of EMI you have to pay. Joy content is lost the first day itself. You know that, no? Isn't it? Correct? You buy a car, how long is that happiness of the car? One day. You buy the car and come. You are so happy, isn't it? That night you sleep and wake up. Next morning, what happened? What happens? 50% of the joy content is gone the next morning. Third morning, fourth morning, zero. But what follows? What follows? There is no Tushyanti there. There is no joy at all there. Are you able to follow? For this person here, he is joyful but doesn't produce wombs of sorrow. Are you able to follow? He contacts the world, but that contact will not result in wombs of sorrow. That is Tushyanti. In the indulgent person case, he contacts the world, he gains an immediate instant happiness, but the price he pays is enormous. Are you able to understand the difference? Ramanti. The joy of going inward. There is a joy that is contact born, but doesn't produce wombs of sorrow. Are you able to follow? There is a joy that gives you, it is born out of contact, but doesn't produce wombs of sorrow. Adivai evlo periya freedom. What a big freedom it is. You are enjoying it, but no wombs of sorrow. No, what a relief it is. That itself is one big joy. Second is what? Ramanti. What is Ramanti? The joy of going inward. The joy of going inward, the joy of getting closer and closer to the true nature. What is that Ramanti? Salokyam, Samipyam, Sarupyam, Sayujyam. That is the Ramanti. Are you able to follow now? What is that Ramanti? Going inward. Now, what is the joy of going inward means? Going inward means you have taken a U-turn and started going towards your true nature. And the very fact that you are getting closer and closer and closer to your true nature is Ramanti. Tushyanti and Ramanti. And what is Ramanti? Understand it as Salokyam, Samipyam, Sarupyam, Sayuchyam. That's the Ramanti. We know these four, no? Isn't it? I'm not elaborating on this four because we know this four already. That's why I'm not elaborating on this. Salokyam. Area kulla vandachpa. Avladha. Satisfied, isn't it? That is Salokyam. Samipyam, getting closer. Sarupyam, the object of thirst and longing, you have seen it. Yeah, you have seen it. சினிமால அந்த ஏர்போர்ட் எஸ்கலேட்டர்ல இறங்கி வர மாதிரி அது, isn't it? Sarupyam. First call, யாரோ வருவாங்க first, isn't it? Eyes are searching, and then suddenly the shoes will be shown, isn't it? The shoes will be shown and the face is shown. Sarupyam. That is Sarupyam. And then finally Sayuchyam. That is Ramanti. Tushyanti and Ramanti.
So Ramanti is in one of the first three, not Sayuchyam.
It's all getting closer and all the four. From Salokyam, first is Salokyam. From Salokyam, it is Samipyam. From Samipyam, it is Sarupyam. From Sarupyam, it is Sayuchyam. All four. It is inclusive of all the four. That's why we say it goes in grades, stages. Are you okay? Verse number 11 padi. 11 dana.
Teshamevanukampatham ahamajnanajam tamaha nashayam yatma bhavastaha jnanadipena bhasvata teshamevanukampatham ahamajnanajam tamaha nashayam yatma bhavastaha jnanadipena bhasvata.
Tesham, to them, out of mere compassion for them, dwelling as self, I dispel the darkness born of ignorance by the shining lamp of wisdom. Out of mere compassion for them, dwelling as self, I dispel the darkness born of ignorance by the shining lamp of wisdom. Why am I giving all this? Out of mere compassion. Out of mere compassion. Compassion is, what is compassion? Compassion is identification. Identification with the pain of another and doing something to help them out of that pain. That's why I give you this, he says. Tesham, for them alone. Ellarkum kedayadu. Tesham. Tesham means who? Avikampena yogena, all the details to them. Yeah. This me giving knowledge is exclusive only to them. Not that I want to discriminate. Some deserve it, most don't deserve it. What can I do? It's not that he is discriminating. It's not that he wants to discriminate. He wants to give it to everybody only. But Prapti only a few has known. Prapti only a few has. Why? Because only a few has done that prayatna. So whoever has done this prayatna and having this prapti, jnana prapti, I give this. And when I give, what is the reason for me to give? What is the reason for me to give? Anukampa, mere just compassion, that's all. Why compassion? Why this compassion? Mogasha, mohakarmanaha, mohajnana, vichetasaha, rakshasim, asurim chaiva, prakritim, mohinim shritaha. எங்கேயோ படிச்ச மாதிரி இருக்குது. எங்கேயோ படிச்ச மாதிரி இருக்குது. The verse, chapter 9, 12. Chapter 9, verse number 12. Moha. Because of this moha, they live the life of Rakshasa and Asura. To them, I give yoga kshemam vahamiham. Anga. To them, I give yoga and kshema. Here, what is he giving? Same yoga kshema rephrased differently. Same yoga kshema is rephrased differently. What is that? Matchitta, Madgarada Pranaha, Adalanda Ananya Chinta. What in verse number, what in chapter 9 he called as Ananya Chinta? He's what he calls as Matchitta, Madgata Pranaha, Bodhayantaha, Parasparam, Katayantascha, Mam Nityam. All that is Ananya Chinta. Connected like that, it becomes easy. All this is Ananya Chinta. For them alone who have this Ananya Chinta, Anukampa. Anukampa is Anugraha. Anukampa is nothing but Anugraha. What is Anugraha? பேர் வச்சிருக்கிறோம் இல்லையா? அனுகிரகான்னு வீட்டுக்கு பேர் வைப்பாங்க. அனுகிரகான்னு இல்ல மனுஷருக்கு பேர் வச்சு they thinking இல்ல grace. What is that? He's saying, wherever I see anybody wanting me alone, having left everything, they only want me, I can't resist myself. I am attracted to them, he says. I am drawn towards them. Yeah. He's saying, God, I am drawn. I am attracted to them. Why? Because they have given up all that they thought meaningful, all that they thought is valuable, all that they thought is important. They have given up. For whose sake? For whose sake they have given up? For my sake. For my sake they have given up. I see them devoted to me. I rush to them, he says. I rush to them. Just as they can't stand the separation from me, I am also not able to stand that separation. The bhakti, isn't it? The devotee is not able to stand the separation. What is God saying? God is saying, mutual feelings, he says. Adhe feeling da enakum, he says. It's the same. Yeah, it is the same. And I am also waiting. Yaradu oral varmatangla, and I was waiting. And anybody who passes by, I think it is that person. Ellam pass aine poi irukkranga. Nobody is turning and looking back, isn't it? Even if we go to a temple, what a hurry we are to leave the temple, isn't it? And other they say, Ukarango, they say. You know that? No? They say, hey, don't be, even when you go to a temple, we are in a hurry to leave. அதுவும் ஒரே நாள்லயே 10 கோயில் பார்க்கணும்னா what to do, isn't it? In one day you have to visit 10 temples. By the time you go to the third temple, you don't know which temple you are in, isn't it? You only see the tour guide, isn't it? Deity பார்க்கிறது இல்ல, tour guide பார்க்கணும், isn't it? Because the speed with which he goes is the speed with which you have to go. Compassion here should be understood as love, anugraha. That's why the Sanskrit word anukampa. In English, that's a difficulty in English. Not that the language is wrong. One word cannot explain this. Or the literal meaning, if you translate, it will be like compassion. Last verse, when you said you have done the prayatna and you deserve it, what is compassion after that? Are you able to see the contradiction if you use the word compassion? The previous verse we said it is prayatna, it is praptam and all that. When it is prayatna and praptam, all that, what is compassion there? No, it is anugraha. What is anugraha? That final merger, that final aikyam is something that is beyond human comprehension, is beyond the ability of any instrument. The aikyam is beyond the capacity of any instrument. The aikyam is beyond the comprehension of all human beings. I will ensure that it happens. That which is beyond the comprehension of human being, that which is beyond the capacity of the instruments, I will ensure that it happens. It is anugraha. So out of compassion must be understood as anugraha. Atma bhavastaha. Atma bhavastaha means me sitting in them. Atma bhavastaha, sitting in them. What do? I dispel the darkness out of mere compassion for them. Dwelling as self. Dwelling as self nu soltale neutrality la vandachinga, isn't it? The dwelling as self-knowledge, the enlivening factor has come in. What is compassion then? Anugraha. It will happen. Do not ma shuchaha. That is anugraha. Don't worry. Prayatna I have done, sir. Neenga solradalla nambi I am making the prayatna. And you are saying it is beyond human comprehension. You are saying it is beyond the capacity of all human instruments. என்னமோ சரியா இல்லையா இந்த பர்சூட்ல? Something is not right in this entire thing. Something என்னமோ ஒன்னு உதைக்கிறது இதுல. Something is not right in this. What is it? Instruments don't have the capacity. You cannot comprehend it. Then what is the prayatna for? And what is the guarantee that prayatna is going to give this result? Anukampartha. Don't worry. By anugraha, it will come to you. Are you able to follow? By anugraha, it will come to you. I'll bless you. Bless you means because you deserve it. Bless you means because you want it. Just as you are desperately looking for me, I am also desperately looking for you. If you can't stand the separation, I also can't stand the separation. but that longing isn't there. But that wanting isn't there. Wanting God isn't there. We want God for something else. What do we want God for? Artha, Artha, Arthi, Jignasu. What do we want God for? That's where you should connect it to that 4 types of devotees. Artha Bhakta, Artha Arthi, Jignasu, and Jnani. So he says, the Jnani Bhakta Anukampartham will work. Artha, Artha Arthi, Jignasu, they will get it. But what will happen? They will lose it also. Why? That's what you asked for, no? When you asked for that, it will leave also. Now I will give that, and when it goes, I will not stop it, he says. When you ask for wealth, I will give you wealth. And when the wealth leaves you, don't come back to me and complain. Why? Because when it leaves you, I will not do anything. That's cheating. I'm praying only when the wealth leaves, you should be there to ensure that it should not leave. No. Correct? That's Artha Bhakti or a definition. Then what is the devotion for? This. I am the lawmaker. I have made the law. What is the law? Wealth, isn't it? It will go. Since I have made the law like that, how can I violate the law that I made? So Artha, Artha, Jignasu will get it, but they will lose it also. Jnani Bhakta is what here we are talking about. Are you able to follow now? Jnani Bhakta is what he is talking about. And what is this Jnani Bhakta? Dwelling in the self, longing for me alone, for my sake, they have given up. For my sake, they have given up everything. Having given up everything, they stand in front of me. He says, I will do an X-ray, he says. You can't cheat me. Just because you come and stand in front of me doesn't mean anything. I will do an X-ray scanner. Yeah. Whole body scanner madri or pandrar. Yeah. Body, mind, intellect, vasana level varaikum he will scan. இங்கேயாவது வெறும் பாடி ஸ்கேனர் தான். அவர் மைண்ட் எல்லாம் ஸ்கேன் பண்றாரு, இன்டெலெக்ட் எல்லாம் ஸ்கேன் பண்றாரு, வாசனா லெவலுக்கு போய் அங்கேயும் ஸ்கேன் பண்றாரு. ஸ்கேன் பண்ணி ஏதாவது இருக்குதான்னு பாக்குறாரு. ஒன்னும் இல்லை. He has given up everything. கொஞ்சம் எம்டி ஸ்பேஸ் இருக்குது உள்ள. இல்லையா? இப்போ எம்டி ஸ்பேஸ் இல்லை. அவர் உள்ள வரணும்னா கூட ஈவன் இஃப் யூ வாண்ட்ஸ் டு கம் இன்சைட் தேர் இஸ் நோ எம்டி ஸ்பேஸ். வேர் வி வில் கம்? வீடு ஃபுல்லா ஃபர்னிச்சர் இருக்குது. இல்லையா? முதல்ல காலி பண்ணாதானே he can come. மேல 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 எல்லாம் வைக்க முடியாது. isn't it? வச்சு 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 மேல வைக்கிறது கூட இடம் இல்லை இப்போ. isn't it? Up to the ceiling it is hit. No free space at all for him. How can he come? Out of mere compassion for them. What is for them? Who have emptied themselves so that I can come in. Who have emptied themselves so that I can come and occupy. I will come and occupy. Or for me to occupy, they have emptied themselves. He sees. Correct. You ஒருத்தர் தான் எம்டியா இருக்கிறாரு. And when he sees that emptiness, he comes and when he enters, how he will enter? Aikyam. That's the beauty. When he enters, how he enters? He doesn't enter in pockets. He doesn't enter in small. Vanda, he drowns you in that. Apuryamanam machala pratishtam. Like a samudra. He envelops you so completely, so well. Out of mere compassion for them, dwelling as self, I dispel the darkness born of ignorance. I dispel the darkness born of ignorance by the shining lamp of wisdom. By the shining lamp of wisdom. So he's giving a comparison. Knowledge, lamp, there are similarities. There are certain similarities between knowledge and lamp. Light removes darkness that covers the object. Correct? What does lamp do? Light. Lamp na light in vechikarom. So knowledge and light have certain similarities. What is the first one? Just as the light removes darkness that covers the object and reveals it to you, knowledge removes ignorance and it reveals. Able to follow? Second comparison. Second comparison is one lamp doesn't need second lamp. When it reveals it so completely that it doesn't need any other support. Adukadam pramanam nu peru. It doesn't need any other. Doesn't depend on something else. For that light to have, the lamp has a few things. The beautiful comparison. The lamp means it has a few things. What are the few things that the lamp has for the light to come? Or three wick, isn't it? It's called wick, isn't it? There is a wick. There is an oil. There is a holder. There is a holder that has to hold the oil so that the wick is soaked in that. Innor light one. Correct? All this is not enough. You need a matchstick or another lamp to come and light it. Adam Guru Shastra. For knowledge to rise, ekagrata, single pointedness is required. Shastram as the pramanam, as a conviction is required. Guru is required. Just as the lamp requires these things so that it reveals it, similarly, knowledge removes it. Beautiful is the comparison. Because he's saying, Jnana Deepite, like the lamp of, are you able to follow? Its presence removes darkness. The presence of light removes darkness. Similarly, the presence of knowledge, ignorance is gone. Delusion. Ignorance means delusion. Moha. Moha is gone. Delusion is gone. What is moha? What is delusion? We have seen it any number of times. What is moha? What is delusion? Moha means, delusion means that which is not there you see, that which is there you don't see. That's the moha. That is the definition of moha. Again I repeat, moha means that which is not there you see. That which is there you don't see. In indulgence, pain is there, you don't see. What you see? Happiness. And happiness isn't there in that. Why? Because few seconds, few moments of happiness is going to be followed by few moments of sorrow. Huh? The few moments of happiness is going to be followed by decades of pain and suffering. You don't see it. Are you able to follow? You don't see it. Moha. How much ever is explained, how much ever is told, the mind goes back like, what is the example we gave last week? How much ever is told, how much ever is explained, the mind will the mind will accept everything, the head will nod for everything, and finally what it will do? Ask, where is my bone? எல்லாத்தையும் கேட்டு முடிச்சுட்டு லெக்சர் எல்லாம் முடிச்ச உடனே ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கொஸ்டின், வாட், வேர் இஸ் மை போன்? அதுல ஒண்ணும் கிடையாதுப்பா, தான் இட்ஸ் கால்ட் போன். யூ அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் தட்? போன்னாலே there is nothing in it, no? Correct? Bone dry. ஒண்ணும் கிடையாது அதுல. But moha makes you to see something is there. There is nothing, but moha makes you to see. And no gods can come and change your conviction. No Krishna can come and change your conviction. No Ramatirtha, no Shankaracharya, no master can come and change your conviction. Then what is the way out? Adi vangi, you will learn, isn't it? You don't learn through knowledge and understanding. You learn through pain. Again, you have to go through pain again and again and again. There is no other way a human being is. He says, for these people, I don't make them go through all that. Like the lamp reveals, I give them the knowledge. What is the knowledge? What is there? You see. You don't imagine anything. Are you able to follow? What is there? You see, and you stop hallucinating, imagining. Mohana in artham. What is not there, you see. So what are you actually doing? Imagining, hallucinating. Are you able to follow? What is imaginary? What is hallucinatory? Remember, in some other class we gave that example. Mirage water can quench my thirst. Can mirage water quench your thirst? Your thirst is real, but the mirage water cannot quench your thirst. Moha makes you to believe that there is water there and that water will quench your thirst. You chase and chase and chase and get exhausted. Yeah, and get exhausted. Like the deer in the desert. It dies faster by chasing the Chumarda Buddha. It can think properly and do something. But in that hurry to chase, it loses its discrimination. Invites its own destruction. This is moha. So what is knowledge here? This goes away. I ensure that this knowledge goes. How does he ensuring that? Atmana bhavaha. Atma bhava I am going to give. By giving you the Atma bhava, your moga I will destroy. What is Atma bhava? What is Atma bhava? Atma bhava is Aham Brahmasmi. Atma bhava is Aham Brahmasmi. What will they? So what will happen? You get devoted to me. You want me. You practice the disciplines and all that. What you will be exposed to? Karma bhakti illam pannadukku appuram da Shastra and Guru will get revealed to you. Then what is happening now? ஒரு நாளைக்கு இதெல்லாம் கிடைக்கும்ன்ற ஹோப் வரணும்ன்றதுக்கு இதெல்லாம் பண்றோம். When you have done this karma and bhakti and all that and mature, the Guru and the Shastra reveals. And what do they reveal? What do they reveal? Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi. Atma Bhavaka. You do bhakti, I will give you knowledge. And what is the nature of knowledge that I will give you? Where you will say, you and me are one. That knowledge I'll give you. Purida? Venkatachalam. This knowledge I will give you. What knowledge? That you and me are one. Deha bhavena dasosmi. Jiva bhavena. He said, no, Hanuman. Atma bhavena tvamevaham. Deha bhavena dasosmi. Jiva bhavena tvadamshakaha. Atma bhavena tvamevaham. Everybody was praising Hanuman as the devotee. And even today, nobody can surpass the devotee of Hanuman. Even today, nobody can surpass that. Devotion of Hanuman, isn't it? That is devotion. Wherever Rama is there, he will go. Wherever Rama is there, he will go. There is a story, yeah? There is a story in the tradition. There is a story. Valmiki wrote the Ramayana. And then Valmiki didn't write. Whatever happened in the past, it got revealed to him and he wrote it. You know that, no? When Valmiki wrote Ramayana, it's not an imaginary character that he spun. There was Rama that lived in the past. All that happened in his life got revealed and he wrote it. Beautifully said Valmiki Ramayana. And then there is something called, we don't know that. We don't know that. There is another thing called Hanumat Ramayana, where Hanuman wrote a Ramayana. And we don't have it at all because Hanuman swallowed it. Yeah, Hanuman swallowed it. Hanumat Ramayana. Narada told Valmiki that your Ramayana is so good, Valmiki, but Hanumat Ramayana is slightly better. What do we do now? So both of them goes and Hanuman talks about his Ramayana. And when Hanuman talks about his Ramayana, Valmiki asked him, how is it that you can produce a literature like that? How is it that a monkey can produce a literature like that? What is the difference between your Ramayana and my Ramayana? Where yours is something so extraordinary, beautiful, mine is something so inferior. Hanuman said, for you want to reveal Ramayana to the world. World, Rama, your name allanda anga important. To me, Rama only. Difference purida? He says, to me, Rama only. But now that you have done so much of hard work and all that, I will ensure that my Ramayana will not be known at all. So, and we got Valmiki Ramayana. And what is that Hanumat Ramayana? Matbhaktaha yatra gayanti tatra tishtami Narada, he says. In the Bhagavad Purana, he says, wherever they sing my glories and praises, I come and stand there to listen. I come and stand there. That's why symbolically, in all bhakti meetings, we should do that. Yeah. Nowadays, we don't do all that. At least we should remember. Beautiful sampradaya it is. Sampradayam solli அதை demolish பண்ணோம், isn't it? Beautiful culture it is. Beautiful culture. What is the culture? They will keep one seat, ஒரு பலகை, அது மேல ஒரு கார்பெட், பக்கத்துல 2 கொய்யா தேக்கி. Why? Because ஒருத்தர் தான் கான்சென்ட்ரேட்டடா இருக்கிறாரு அங்க. Wherever Rama is spoken, there is only one person who is concentrating. யார் அது? ஹனுமான் தான். Yeah. That is the greatness of Hanuman as a devotee. ஏன் இவ்வளவு கதை சொன்ன ஹனுமான பத்தி? இல்லையா? When everybody said Hanuman is the greatest devotee, we want to know from Hanuman, what is this? So Rama asks Hanuman, tell everybody our connection. What is our connection? Tell everybody that. உனக்கு எனக்கு என்ன சம்பந்தம்னு tell everybody. தேகபாவேன தாசோஸ்மி. Rama, when people look at you and me as two different shariras, I am your dasa. I am your dasa. தாசனா சர்வெண்ட் கிடையாது. தாசனா டெவோட்டின்னு அர்த்தம். புரந்தர தாச, கண்ண தாசன்னா தாசன்னா சர்வெண்ட் கிடையாது, டெவோட்டி. டிவோட்டி மீன்ஸ் அனன்ய சிந்தா. அதை தவிர நத்திங் எல்ஸ் மேட்டர்ஸ் டு தட் பர்சன். இல்லையா? தாஸ் தாஸ். நிறைய பேர் தாஸ் தாஸ்ன்னு பேர் வச்சுக்கிறாங்க. இல்லையா? நமக்கு தெரிஞ்ச தாஸ்லாம் லபக்கு தாஸ் தான். நமக்கு வேற யாரும் தெரிய மாட்டேன்றது. இல்லையா? தட்ஸ் அ டிஃபரண்ட் தேகபாவேன தாசோஸ்மி, ஜீவபாவேன त्वदंशकः. From the level of jiva, I am a part of you. Atmabhavena tvamevaham. And the jnanam I will give you, he says. That jnanam will be given to you. What is that jnanam? Atmabhavena tvamevaham. That will be given to you. To communicate this, he gives a beautiful example. What is a beautiful example? The deepa and the light. One of the later commentators called Madhusudana Saraswati brings about 10 points of comparison. We are not going to do all. He brings in 10 points of comparison between knowledge and, because he's giving an example, no? And any example, any comparison that the Lord brings, he says, no, it can't be, you can't superficially compare it and leave it. You have to go deeper and deeper and deeper. More and more deeper you go, more and more you understand. To communicate this idea, he brings in so much. He brings in so much. Ultimately meaning what? Out of mere compassion for them, eva, mere, out of mere compassion for them, dwelling as self, I dispel the darkness. And when I dispel the darkness, how light dispels darkness? It's revealed so completely that you can never become ignorant again. Correct? When light reveals something, you can never become ignorant again, because you have seen it so clearly. You have seen it so clearly that you can never ever lose it. That knowledge I will give you. The darkness of ignorance gives way to the light of wisdom. Jnana deepite. Jnana deepite. Verse number 11. From verse number 12 onwards, Arjuna will start. From verse number 12 onwards, Arjuna Arjuna will start in the glory. இதெல்லாம் பேசுறீங்க 9, 1 to 11 பேசினதெல்லாம் எனக்கு புரியவே இல்லை, வீடியோ படம் மாதிரி காட்டுங்க he is asking. இந்த மாதிரி உட்காந்து வச்சு லெக்சரெல்லாம் கொடுக்காதீங்க, அதெல்லாம் எங்களுக்கு எல்லாம் புரியறதே கிடையாது, வீடியோ படம் மாதிரி காமிச்சிங்கன்னா ஈஸியா இருக்கும்ல he says. And then he starts the Vibhuti Yoga. Now the Vibhuti Yoga is spoken of as in the pure knowledge part. Later on, the same Vibhuti Yoga is going to speak about it as a descriptive way. What is a descriptive way? He is going to say, this is me, this is me, this is me, this is me, this is me. When you go there, that is also beautiful. Right? If this is beautiful, that is also equally beautiful. Knowledge goes away, ignorance goes away, knowledge is revealed. And what knowledge? Aikyam knowledge. Aham Brahmasmi knowledge. So, you start with devotion, start with devotion, you have the jnana yogyata. You have developed the necessary qualifications. Necessary qualification for Shastra Anugraha and Guru Anugraha. Ellame Anugraha tha. You do bhakti, you do karma, Anugraha follows. It is Anugraha that the Shastra is available to you. It is Anugraha that the Guru is available to you. எல்லாத்தையும் வச்சுக்கிட்டு, like Swamiji gives an example, no? எல்லாத்தையும் வச்சுன்னு பிரைம் மினிஸ்டரே ஃப்ரெண்டு, க்ளோஸ் ஃப்ரெண்டு, என்ன வேணும்னு கேட்கிறாரு. ரயில்வே ஸ்லீப்பர் கிளாஸ் டிக்கெட்டை கன்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணி கொடுங்கன்னு கேட்டா வாட் டு டு? ஸ்பெஷல் ட்ரெயினே விடுவார் உங்களுக்கு அவசரம், isn't it? To that, so look at the Anugraha. What is Anugraha? Shastra Anugraha, the Guru Anugraha, all that is there. That person goes and gets it. The rest, even though they are in contact with the Shastra, even though they are in contact with the Guru, they are still not in contact with the Shastra and the Guru. Why? Because they are Artha Jignasu Bhakta, not a Jnani Bhakta. அவங்களும் சாஸ்திரம் கிட்ட வராங்க, அவங்களும் குரு கிட்ட வராங்க, அவங்களும் கத்துக்கிறாங்க, பட் they don't get that ஞானம், they don't get. Why? Because anugraha isn't there. What anugraha isn't there? The jnana anugraha doesn't happen. Why? They are still focused on artha, artharthi and jignasu. Empty yourself of all this. Empty yourself of all this. I will come and fill it. When I fill it, I will fill it by aikyam. You want aikyam, but you want material objects to give you that aikyam. You go and hug a person so tightly thinking that that two is going to become one. In all other association, aikyam will not happen. It is not possible. Only here aikyam will happen, and I will ensure that aikyam happens. Out of mere compassion for them dwelling as self, I dispel the darkness born of ignorance by the shining lamp of wisdom. Verse number 11. With this, we conclude for today. Any clarifications we will take up next week, and then we'll move on to verse number 12.